For today's video, I want to talk about the Flashpoint Grand Final and this particular round here, where Device and Rez do a good job blocking down outside and give Nip a 5v3, and how we go from this scenario, Device hearing all the players running down secret, or 2 of the 3 players run down secret, to this scenario. Bombs exploded, and Mousesports have stolen away around. But before we kick the video off, I want to let you guys know about Eliteify. It's the AI coach you can link your Faceit and MM games to, and it breaks them down, tells you what to improve on. My favorite thing is this mapping tool, which tells you what positions you're winning a lot of your fights as compared to losing them. Does the same thing for smokes and flashes. Bring up on the map, it tells you which ones you're using well, which ones you're throwing at bad timings. There's also more of a breakdown into your aim, tells you if your counter strafing is good, your crosshair placement, all of that. And same thing with utility. Your HE is doing a lot of damage. Are you dying with too much utility on your belt? What exactly is going on there? So try it out for free in the description box below. Now, believe it or not, a lot of the problems Nip are going to run into stem from the very first part of this round. We're going to see most of it from Device's point of view and what they're trying to set up. Now, Device is going to be the support man here, using his utility early on. He's going to be mollying for any of those fast smokes that land outside that main area. Smoke and then flash over the top for Hampus to try and cross the top secret. He gets tagged up by the Deagle, and now Hampus is forced to try and run away, smoke himself off, and flash and get out, and he ends up running all the way down secret. Now, the first little blunder here was just the fact that Hampus was a little bit too close to that garage area. You can see here he gets stuck, and it ends up costing him 98 HP, and it leaves Device kind of alone outside because his friend in Hampus has to run away, fall away, and find a new position because he is so low against these pistols. But we can see that Nip have their rotations pretty much under control, and as Mousesports throw this smoke into Yard, which applies a little bit more pressure to Device, and maybe he could potentially get overwhelmed, they have some good rotations in place. Despite the fact that Hampus is gone, we see ZTR doing what a lot of top players would do, is if there's a lot of pressure outside, they'll smoke off door early, and this allows Rez a lot of freedom to move between helping outside and not having to stay locked in to help out upper, because one of the entrances to upper is smoked off, so ZTR can be a lot more confident in holding it down on his own. So this is exactly what happens, is that smoke's down. You can see on Rez's point of view, gives him the confidence to leave out here towards this main area. He's able to help out Device, and that's where we saw these 2 kills come through that you saw in the intro, with Frozen walking straight through a smoke into Rez's crosshair, or in this case was the demo UI, lack of a crosshair. Now, the other important thing to note is, look at Plopsky here. He's going to molly off ramp and actually come towards outside and actually also supply his support. So there's definitely no chance here of giving away that AWP in Device. But actually take us on to the next part of the rotation. Is often this ramp player will molly this, give himself time to help and rotate out like we saw Plopsky do. But what Nip are actually doing here is they're rotating Hampus all the way back through under, and he's going to become this ramp player. So you can see that while this mollies up, it's not actually buying time for Plopsky like it normally would. It's actually buying time for Hampus, and he pops up here, he gets himself into a safe position while that molly's still burning. There's no chance that final Mousesports member lurked out here and got the kill onto the low HT member. Now, as we established at this point, Nip have pretty good control of Yard thanks to Device and Rez, and they hear multiple players of Mousesports going down lower, and they're going to start creeping this way with their 2 Deagles and AK. And as we saw watching that ramp POV, Plopsky's rotating down here in towards lower, and he's going to get himself set up as the 3 Mousesports members make their way ready to attack this B site. Now, if I pause at this point here, I'm very nervous as an NiP fan, and I'm going to tell you why, and it's to do with the rotations available to Plopsky here and the rest of his team. Now, Yard control is not a problem, as we've already established, but B is very much a problem, and that's because Hampus is playing a little bit scared for my liking. And I'm going to show you why by using this successful example that Mousesports pulled off against G2 earlier in the tournament. You can see it's basically the same scenario here. Bang, that molly comes down onto the stairs, Frozen's forced off, and we're forced into a very similar situation to what we saw Nip in. Frozen is now on the site here, but look at what Rops has done. We actually saw Rops rotate. He was actually further away from this helping position, but now as soon as that molly comes through and they lose that info towards secret, he's getting down, he's getting nice and close and making sure he can help his teammate out. He actually commits even more than we will see some players do. Because he must be very confident that G2 are going to commit to this, and he gets himself down here towards Dark, and you see how it's going to end up playing out. Frozen gets 1, which is obviously a little bit better than Plopsky, but he gets traded right here, and 1-for-1's not good enough, but Rops is here to help him out, not with utility, but with manpower, and getting that double spray down on towards the site. See the contrast here is, 1, Rops is here very quickly to help out the lower player of Frozen, whereas we switch back here to the round we're talking about, where Hampus has parked himself so far away because of his HP, is it leaves Plopsky very exposed, and he doesn't even get the 1 opener. Both the doors open at the exact same time from Mousesports. Bang, both of them open. He doesn't know where to look. Dexter swings out, gets the opening kill onto him, and now we're in our 3v4 post plant, and things are starting to get scary because it's not always easy to retake this lower bomb site. We've established that this tag early on by Acre onto Hampus failing to cross yard has caused mass confusion for the NiP camp. They've neglected rotations towards this lower bomb site, and it's allowed them to get in with an entry and get this bomb down. But there's a whole other 40 seconds to play of this after plan, and the first thing that's going to play is again that HP. Hampus doesn't want to challenge Dexter, allowing him to disappear into this decon area, and I actually really like how Mousesports set up for this. If I pause right now, look at where they're playing. They're playing one guy in decon, which is Dexter as we're looking at. Acor's here, he's holding on to this vent area, actually having a little bit of a fight right now with Rez, and Biomus is parked in double doors, ready to swing a lot of directions with his AK, but he's also watching anyone trying to come and sneak in here through secret. So Mousesports have put all their eggs in the basket of locking down this back hole area, and they're not really worried about the ramp area for now. They know it's going to take a little bit of time for NiP to come in there, clear out all these different angles. So if NiP are doing this split up kind of retake, they're actually going to get a couple of kills and be able to fight together, which is exactly what NiP are doing. In fact, you can see here that as soon as that kill comes through onto Plopsky, Device is moving and flanking down secret before the bomb even goes down. And this is where NiP are going to try and distract a little bit, and that's why we see Rez going up and down that ladder. He's trying to create space for Device. So if we have a look right now, you can see that all these flashes are coming through right now in multiple different directions. One coming down Rez, jiggling up and down as we've already established. We've got the flashes coming in from Ramp, from ZTR, the molly from that direction from Plopsky, and not Plopsky, sorry, from Hampus. And they're trying to basically create misdirection away from Device being here pretty quickly, and that's not going to work because, as I said, Mousesports have invested everything into locking down this backhole area. So Device, even though there's a lot of distractions going on right now, Mousesports aren't really going to move, and they're going to get this opener. Device gets walked through, too many different angles to check, and from there it's going to be very difficult because Dex is able to pick up this AWP, incredibly powerful in this afterplant. Acor's not going to move off this vent area, so Rez is basically rendered useless, and from here there's only 15 seconds left on the bomb, and you can see how dire of a situation NiP are in. In fact, Rez has basically given up. You can see he's walked away, came back here towards secret, and with this much time on the bomb, he's basically said, I'm out of this one. I'm just going for kills right now, trying to stop them saving an AWP, which he's successful at. No one survives from Mousesport, but his two other members go down. They were committed in here, and they get taken out from the different angles. You can see even from Dexter's point of view, he's going out wider here, taking what looks like a questionable peek, but because so little time's left, I think in his mind, he thought they might have been saving, so he gets taken out, but you can see ZTR's walked all the way out this yellow catwalk area. He's seen nothing at all. Biomus has repositioned after killing Device that is not visible from any of these angles that ZTR's trying to take. With the bomb being planned, so little time left, he's forced to jump on the bomb. Biomus is here at this double doors, has an uncontested shot on the user, and just like that, Mousesports still one away. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and I'll catch you all in the next video.